Dear students, this will be the last module in our exercise on the UPGMA. So to start with, let's review again what we have been talking about. So UPGMA is an algorithm to create phylogenetic trees, and it has two components which help us to create distance matrices and the phylogenetic tree alongside. The two components include the first component, which helps us calculate the distance between a sequence and a cluster, or between two clusters. The second component in the UPGMA algorithm helps us to connect two trees. So depending on which situation you are in, you can use one of the two components and create the phylogenetic tree. So let's see where we were last time. So here was our distance matrix that we computed, and we could see a new cluster Y because W and X have this shortest distance. So Y will be a cluster with X and W. So here in the tree, you can see Y, and here is 3. So the 3 distance will be 3 from this side and 3 from this side. So 3 plus 3 will give you 6. So just to check. So since X and W become a new cluster, let's call it Y, we have to modify the distance matrix and remove X and W. So the new cluster will be formed in Y, but then we have to compute the distance between Y and C. So repeating the same exercise, X and W were removed and Y took their position, and the distance between Y and C is 8. If you look at it carefully, so C is a sequence here and Y is the cluster here. So please note that all the sequences will be here at the leaves of the tree, and all the clusters will be hidden inside the tree. So in this way, the entire tree will be organized, and you can always check your tree by looking at the distance. So here is 4, as you can see here. So 4 here and 4 here. So Z, the new cluster, will be created. So to summarize, using the distance matrix, you selected the shortest distance between two sequences or two clusters, or a sequence and a cluster. And you created a new cluster by combining these two elements. And then you had to compute the distance between the new cluster and the remaining elements in the distance matrix. During this process, if you had a situation where two trees were to be combined, then you use the second component of the UPGMA algorithm. So in conclusion, the UPGMA algorithm is a very useful tool in creating phylogenetic trees and is very sensitive to the distance between sequences. So remember that these distances are simply computed by looking at the pairwise sequence alignment. Now if you want, you can also use UPGMA online, or you can write your own code by following the example that I have explained to you.